it always, yeah. So I think we are about to go live. I'll just wait until I can see us there. So if you can see us already, we don't know that we're live yet. So I'm just going to make sure that we are in the right place. So if you are joining the live or the replay, just let us know in the comments. It's always good to know who's here. And yeah, we are. So I'm going to close this Facebook down so we don't get feedback. Yes. So hello, this is Kelly and I'm here with Samantha. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, Kelly.
Oh, it's so nice to be with you. So Samantha is founder of Lighthouse Coaching, and Samantha did the last initiation circle. So she's agreed to come and have a little chat with us about her experience. Yeah, so I wanted to start off by asking you, Samantha, can you remember, like, before you joined the circle, kind of where you were at, like what made you think that the circle would be a good idea?
Yeah, I was feeling a lot of frantic energy. I had just quit my job of 3 years and decided that I was going to start my own coaching business without a lot of preparation. It was more of a intuitive and spontaneous decision. But I had been doing a lot of practice in conscious journeying, and a lot of what I was coming up with, or like a lot of what I was seeing, was around feminine and energy. And I just felt like there was something there to tap into, but I didn't know anything about it or like where to start. And yeah, I was lucky enough to be introduced to Kelly through another mentor of mine, and that's obviously her specialty. And yeah.
I just want to take a moment to really honor you for, leaving corporate world, because there might be people watching that are stuck in their corporate job. And I remember that journey. You were just really following your intuition, and then it really opened up for you when you followed your intuition, right?
Yeah. It all of a sudden became like I have to do this moment. And yeah, I just was really surprised by how things started to align as soon as I made that decision. So in terms of getting my first clients, my first paying clients, and just felt like every step I took, I felt a little more guided. And I knew it was the right decision for me.
Yeah, gorgeous. So would you share with us a bit on how you found the circle, like the journey, I guess, that we went through? Because 6 months spending time together, in a way it's quite long, in another way it feels really short. So yeah, how was your journey through that process?
Yeah, and I will preface with, I am one of the most impatient people, not only with others, but especially with myself. So the first probably 3 or 4 months felt like a lot of time. And then the last 2 or 3 months felt like this is going so quickly and I don't want it to end. The first half of it was a lot of clearing. And I could sense there was a lot of resistance internally. But creating that space was so important. I was a little bit afraid that I would be the one person that didn't get anything out of the circle, that maybe like there was something wrong with me. But that's definitely not the case. And so it does, I guess the sort of headline here is to trust that it is, Kelly just creates this really safe space for you to hold you, and she knows what she's doing in terms of like keeping you on track. And I think I talked to you a few times saying like, oh my God, am I not doing this right? is there something that I'm missing here? And you just made me feel really comfortable to trust and keep going. And I'm so glad that I did.
It's really interesting if we can just talk a bit about that, about the clearing process, because what is so interesting when you do it in this initiation circle is sometimes things can come up that you think you've cleared before, And this clears it on a much more, at the root level, I would say, and on a much more permanent level. Obviously, you don't need to share details because they're personal, but I remember that for you.
Yeah. And I mean, I can share like high level. There was an old relationship I thought I had cleared like from many years ago. And I realized there was still like a root there of that former version of me. And so working with her versus working with that person that I'm no longer connected to, I felt was so much more powerful.
Yeah, it's so interesting because we think that we've worked through these things, you know, and we're cleared, and there's almost this resistance to clear them. It's like, no, I've done that, like I've dealt with that. But I remember, but when you're able to do it, you're able to get back to, for me, this is getting back to the original innocence, the purity, the truth of who you really are. So working through those layers.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've been able to see that without spending the time.
Yeah, like having that time in that place to really see it, because then you're able to get to the real clarity that we want when we want to get to our unique voice, we want to get to our purpose, we want to get to crafting our business.
Yeah.
So what have been some of the kind of outcomes for you, like when you think about the end of the program?
Yeah. I'm really glad that I did it because I actually ended up not jumping right into building my business, but taking 3 months off to rest. And I had a lot of judgment around it. So having the circle to come to and like work through that was really special. And just to like tap into that connectedness at a deeper level. Like I have come a long way in the last 2 years in terms of creating a deeper connection with myself, where it was like probably the opposite spectrum of total rejection for a long time. But there's nothing quite like spending time in the black light or working through that feminine energy and really connecting with my inner wise woman. I feel like it is truly like a practice that I had a muscle I needed to build around it, and the 6 months really helped me with that. And now I feel so guided and so ready to take action. I think there was a piece of me that was afraid to take action, like my feminine side wouldn't be able to stand up to the masculine. And now I feel like they're working more in concert. I feel like I have more direction around who I want to work with and my ideal client, and also some plans for 2022 that I hope to get off the ground as well, that came out of that time in the black light. So
Yeah, so what we're talking about there is once you finished all the clearings, there's a very deep initiation, and this only used to be shared with high initiates of mystery schools, but it's going into that primordial essence, releasing all the masks of what we think a goddess is even, and really connecting to that true source of self. And when I'm speaking, I'm really remember that drawing you did of her.
yeah, the blue.
That was
Like,
so
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. That was another thing. It was like helping me tap into my creative side and use my other senses, which I think was really important. So it like my images got so much clearer along the way. And I feel like my energy is so different. Like I mentioned earlier, I started with this frantic energy of like, I just quit my job and now what do I do? And now I feel like I have so much more direction and like the steps that I need to take. And that feels really powerful on its own.
Yeah, when it comes from within, it creates that inner confidence and knowing, doesn't it? Rather than like, well, you know, I've done this certification program and I need to do steps 1, 2, 3, and then you're trying to work it out in your head and you kind of drive yourself mad with it. But when it comes from this inner landscape, there's just this knowing and this confidence, so it really helps you take action.
Yeah, and it's like focusing on the next best step for me versus like I need to have everything done in
Yeah,
the next 90 days, right? So yeah.
so it's too overwhelming, you know, and things change. So that's really about going with the flow more, which that, you know, that feminine brings, going with the flow, feeling the energy, this step, then the path becomes revealed to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What have been some of the surprising, but is there anything that's been surprising?
I think some of, well, I definitely like some of the things that I thought I had cleared, but it came up and had to be cleared again. And also just some of the connections I found in my sort of inner wise woman, and some rememberings and images that came through were really powerful. And I also love that you had that information available, because I think it's really hard to find. But like, I would tell you about an image I had, and you like already had information to support for me to dig deeper, or go sit with it again. And I thought that was really, really helpful. But yeah, just connection to this sort of, like, I don't know how to explain it, but a deeper lineage.
Yes, exactly. And I really love what you touched upon there, these remembering. So the majority of the work that I share has come through my own rememberings, connections to these visions, to these images. You could call them past lives if you want. You can call them holding of wisdom, and then remembering this wisdom. It's come from that. And so then when it comes from that, you really get to birth your divine work. You're not copy and pasting something that you've learned, which makes us feel like a fake or an imposter. It really is helping you connect to the wisdom that you share, that you are carrying as a soul, and really awakening those. And I think what you said about me having the information on things, so many people say to me, Kelly, what books can you recommend? Actually, you did too. I remember. And honestly, like, I struggle. There are books which I have recommended, but there isn't a book that can share with you this wisdom that this program shares.
Yeah.
It's not there. It's not on Google. It's not in the books. There's kind of pieces of information. And I guess what I've been able to do through my own initiation is piece this together and see the picture, and then help you create your own picture and wisdom to share.
Yeah. And I think it would be hard for me to understand that if I hadn't gone through it. But I will just say, like, it felt very personal and very real and very fluid to me. It wasn't like I was being fed a story or in any way, or trying to make sense of things. It was, like you said, an inner knowing, and it all sort of flowed together, integrated together in a way that made it very real, and tangible to understand.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, when people go this, they have this face, this, like, I talked to Andrew about it. It's this inner radiance, this glowing, this inner knowing, this wisdom of who they are as a soul carrying through them. And you can't get that off a shelf. You can't explain it unless you've been through it yourself fully. But it's such a beautiful way to live.
Yeah. And now I crave those blacklight like journeys. So, like, that is sort of my safe space to go and think when I feel confused or overwhelmed, and just feels like either get the information I need or get the, like, change in energy, or that calm knowing when I go there.
Yeah, it is. It's where I go. It's where I still go regularly. Like, I'm sharing how I do it, how I share my work and my next upgrade, my next vision, my next circle. And that's, that's the way it's done, because then it's through you. It's the divine through you, rather than you trying to, control it or make it happen or think all the responsibility is you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess I will say, like, one more surprise is just, like, how far I've come with this program. Because if I would have heard about this program 5 years ago, I would have been like, like, I came from majority, like, distorted masculine energy, like, focus on career, school, whatever it is, and making money, and didn't connect to a lot of those other pieces of me. And now to like, and I hated the color red, which to me was also a telltale sign of like, I just didn't want to connect to that feminine piece of me or stand out. And now I feel myself being more attracted to that color. I feel myself like talking more about this feminine energy and appreciating it instead of like sort of looking down on it as a weakness. And I see the strength in it. And that's an amazing piece of this journey as well.
Yeah, and you're embodying it as well, which is so beautiful to see. And the thing is, we live in such a distorted world. We don't even know it's distorted. That's the problem. It's easy for us when you have the wisdom to say we live in a distorted world, and I was in wounded masculine, but if you're in that world, you don't even really know what that means. And it means that you're missing a whole octave, a whole half of how creation has come in, a whole power, and so to restore that power, to restore that ability to create how creation creates, helps you become a much more powerful creator, person, and, like you say, connected.
Yeah, totally agree.
Is there anything else that you want to share, Samantha, before we go? It's been so lovely to have you, and can't wait to see where Lighthouse Coaching goes. I love the name, by the way.
Yeah, I want to reiterate like the trust aspect, both in Kelly and in yourself if you're considering this program. I can't say enough how helpful this was for me, especially having a transition in my life, and really like my meeting and understanding Kelly's area of expertise was kind of random, but it was a knowing, and I trusted that knowing of like this person has a lot to share on an area where I know I want more, and just trusting yourself that you're going to get something out of the program, because you can resist you can resist along the way, but once you let go of that resistance and lean into it, I think really magical things can happen.
Yeah, and that's what happens when we allow the magic of feminine in our lives.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us, Samantha. Like, you just look amazing and beautiful, and a radiant power. Well, a radiant lighthouse. Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, so let us know how it's going. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Take care.
Take care. And I'm going to invite you to stay on as I go more into this bonus material, which is really about helping you realize your life purpose and your soul purpose. So I want to first start off by saying that purpose can be any kind of sacred purpose. It could be to share your spiritual gifts with the world, your healing gifts. Your sacred purpose could be to be a mum. Your sacred purpose could be to have a family, to be a wife. There is no judgment on what is a sacred purpose or not. It doesn't have to be about conquering the world. So that's the first thing I want to do. And I want to say that when it comes to your sacred purpose, stepping into the frequency of this purpose is what opens up the channels. And it is the divine feminine who is that being energy, that receiving energy that enables you to step into the frequency of your sacred purpose. And often that is what is so missing. If you know your purpose already, often what is missing is the feminine element of fully embodying and living that purpose within. And when you do that, when you allow yourself to be initiated through the feminine, honoring your sacred purpose, everything gets speeded up. And that can look like doubling your income in 4 months. It can look like another client who bought her house after 6 months, and it was a 10-year plan that she thought was kind of impossible. and, you know, put it out there 10 years ago, it happened within 6 months. Can be another client who had a baby in her mid-40s when everyone said it wasn't possible. And the thing is that miracles are possible when you finally embody the miracle that you are. And this is how initiation, this epic circle that we've got coming up, is different to everything else out there. You embody the frequency of your greatest desire, your soul purpose. And so in that embodiment, you part the Red Seas and things can change overnight. Suddenly, what seemed like a mountain to climb, all hard work, which, by the way, is wounded masculine. If you want to conquer the world, conquer that mountain on your own, that is wounded masculine. Feminine is the part that parts the Red Seas. So, you know, it's so funny. I was speaking to a client earlier. She had a private session with me on Monday, and she wants to really have another baby. But she said to me, there's no way my partner is anyway, will never consider it. It's just, you know, not going to happen. But I'd really like that. And also I'm getting a bit old, so I don't think it's possible. It was a kind of pass away comment. I spoke to her today, and last night they had the conversation and he's opened up to this possibility. So this is the miracle that is possible when you open up to clearing and embodying the initiations that this circle offers. Now, you can spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to find your way, doing it alone, learning by trial and error. And this is all the masculine way of doing. And I can promise you, when it comes to my own business, I spent a lot of time in my masculine strategy trying to make it work, but I wasn't fully embodying my infinite power. But when you connect to your deepest mission and embody it through the feminine, you rebirth your frequency. It's like you come into a different sphere of frequency, one that is extremely magnetic and extremely powerful, one where you are embodying your highest vision. You're going for your highest vision. You're no longer playing small. You know, you're claiming your vision. You're claiming your purpose. You're saying, yes, I am a sacred leader. I am a feminine priestess. I am you know, a healer for the world. Whatever it is, you stop this imposter syndrome and pussyfooting around and feeling fake. You connect to this inner magnificence and power within, and you allow it to flow through you. So how this process works in initiation is we remove all of the veils that we have got masked over our divine magnificence. And if you look into the story of Isis from Egypt, Isis, the goddess, she has 7 veils, and she will only reveal herself to the initiated. And this is what it means: unveiling yourself, letting go of the masks, letting go of the toxicity from your lineage, from your ancestors, from your conditioning, letting go of trauma and toxicity that you've held in your lifetime, letting go of fear of persecution, fear of trying to keep up with the norms. You become free to be truly you, and you allow yourself to unveil your magnificence to the world. And that is a deep honor for the world and for you. You come to discover that you are the universe, you are a creator, and you are powerful. And these aren't mental knowings, you know, like we see these quotes, you are the universe, or that lovely quote from Rumi, you are the ocean and you are one drop in the ocean. These are beautiful quotes, but we're not feeling it and embodying it. Through initiation, you feel it and you know it. You know that you are one drop in the ocean and the entire ocean. And that knowing vibrates in all of your frequency, and you show up in a room or on Facebook or at a conference or at a retreat, and people go, wow, this woman is on fire. And as Samantha said, you get a lot of clarity from all of these clearings. You connect to this deeper inner knowingness and this deep inner confidence, this unshakable I am that I am, and that carries in all of your vibration. So this is good for you if you already know your purpose already, perhaps you already do, but you know there's a deeper level, a deeper calling that you are not standing up to right now. Maybe you kind of not really sure. Maybe your purpose is about helping to lead the world, but you can't find the words, you can't find the language, and that's because the feminine language has been repressed. We've been using the masculine and we can't find the words. Perhaps it is a different sacred purpose that you haven't seen before, like being a mother or having a family. So this is what this is for. This is about helping you come home to yourself, to really discover on a much deeper level your true calling, which means that you can show up in the world in all of your power, all of your light, and all of your glory. This carries a deep authenticity, and it's very touching. It's like you feel like you are sacred and you are walking on sacred ground, and the words that you share are sacred. And this is such an honoring vibration that others honor you so deeply as well. You really let go of competition, of comparison, of fear, of lack of abundance, because you become in the flow as the goddess. And my wish is that everyone can discover this for themselves. So this is the way of embodying your purpose. It's through the feminine initiation. Otherwise, you may know your purpose and you may be working with your purpose, but you're not really fully embodying it, and you're probably not embodying the highest vision, that big, perhaps scary, fat, hairy goal, vision, desire that you kind of dismiss, or you think not in this lifetime, or it's getting too late now, or I'm getting too old now, or others are doing it. All of this inner critic, self-saboteur that we talk to ourselves about, that stops us from fully living this gift that we've got to share with the world. So as a reminder, the program I'm sharing, Initiation, it's a beautiful 6-month deep dive about rebirthing you, your deepest purpose, your inner magnificence, and about unlocking those miracles. As I've shared, many of my clients receive miracles, double their income, get their dream house, have that baby they didn't think was possible. And a lot of the side effects is greater intimacy with their partner, or calling in the one. So all of these things become possible when you fully initiate into the divine feminine. So today is the last chance to get £500 off in a private session with me. In order to do that, you need to go to the information page, which I'll put down later, and you can go to book a call with me, or just send me a DM on Facebook. So I've spoken to quite a few of you now, and I've received so many messages. So thank you so much for being part of Goddess Overflow, the 3-day training, and also for all of your lovely messages. And I want to, really thank you for all of your messages. And I've seen a bit of a common theme, and so I really want to illuminate an issue, if that's okay with your permission. And this illumination is going to be spotlighting on the investment of money and the investment of time, which, by the way, is the same thing. We're talking about energy. Now, when it comes to money, the first thing I want to say is, if you are struggling with your rent and your bills, then obviously you can't invest in this sort of program right now. So you need to take care of, your basics. But if I'm assuming that for some of you, that's okay, you're covering your basic bills, then usually the availability of time and money comes down to 2 things. One thing is the investment of time is often hard to justify. And this being busy, that you've overcommitted, that you don't have time to commit to the feminine, means that you will forever remain in the wounded masculine energy. Because being busy, being in overwhelm, hard work, overcommitting is classic wounded masculine energy. And some people say, the time isn't right, I'll do it another time. But the thing is that they're not seeing themselves as the creator and goddess that they are, in terms of that they can make time, in terms that timelines are collapsed, when your desires come to you more quickly, when you become the embodiment of the feminine. So when you commit to the feminine, when you commit to an initiation into the feminine, you release the need and the pattern that you have going on of constantly chasing your tail in this masculine world of doing. This program is a deep devotion to the goddess, the one that is about being. In her magic, as I said, time is created, timelines are collapsed, desires happen more quickly. And so suddenly all of these external things that you're busy with become happen more quickly. Suddenly you realize you don't need to be doing as much in order to achieve much. And that is what so many of my clients say to me. Suddenly they're able to receive their success with ease and grace, and it doesn't come from all of their time and energy. And the thing is, with women, we are such overgivers, and we are often in masculine, which is crazy because we're women, but so many of us are in this masculine energy of being busy all the time. Just give me one moment. I'm going to have a drink. I also want to talk about investment of money. So I've talked about time, where if you don't have time, then you'll never have time, basically, because you're in this wounded masculine of chasing your tail and being busy. And this feminine initiation enables you to be in this being embodiment energy where miracles are possible and timelines are collapsed. So now I want to talk to you about the investment of money. And one common theme I find with women is it's very hard to justify investing in themselves. And again, this is coming from wounded energy. Now, probably they can invest in school fees, in a car, maybe certification, because you think, wow, I'm going to get something solid out of this certification. It's a solid return. And this is pure masculine energy. In this energy, you're not honoring the feminine, your sense of the goddess within. You're actually linking your worthiness to external things. So whether it's a certification, a title, a car, a level of income, and maybe you'll say, when I earn this much, then I'll do it, or I'll do something, it might be a different goal, but you will never get there, or it will take you a long time because you are working in masculine doing energy instead of feminine receiving energy. All of these external things, the certification, the title, are external things where we measure our worthiness on. And remember, if we talk about day 2, I really go into talking about this. The thing is that there's a universal law that we need to bring in here. And that universal law is everything changes. Nothing is permanent. Everything changes. So we take a look at this. This will change one day. Now it's made of plastic probably, so it'll probably take a few thousand years to break down, but it changes quickly, and things can change quickly. Things can be lost quickly. So if your worthiness is attached to an external thing, like a certification or a title, then your soul knows that that is subject to change, and therefore your worthiness is not deeply rooted. It's subject to change. It's subject to if someone loves you, if someone likes you, if you have this certification, if this certification isn't good anymore. And so your soul knows that, and so it's not going to work for you, because if your sense of worth and success is attached to something that is changing, that is unsafe, then you will never feel worthy, because with initiation, we help you feel your worthiness from within. You are worthy just because you are, no reason. And this is what this brings you, because when you connect to this inner magnificence, this inner worthiness, you radiate worthiness, you radiate infinite abundance. And this helps you become that mouthpiece for the goddess, to become that mouthpiece for the divine. You're not justifying it because you have so many years of experience or a certification. And by the way, I am saying certifications are good, because they bring in safety protocols that we need, especially if we're helping people. But I do find a lot of people doing certification after certification after certification, trying to, fill the void, but the void is within, and that will never fill the void with anything. So what you need to do is connect to your inner worthiness, your infinite abundance within. And when you do this, you double your income, clients come out of nowhere, you receive your success with ease and grace. And this is a better return on your investment than banking your worthiness on external things which are constantly changing. So that's what I wanted to say about that, because a few people have reached out to me. Now, the investment for initiation, it is around $1,000 a month. So it's for serious people only, people that want to double their income, people that want to rebirth their purpose, people that want that miracle power within and that next level of their vision that they realize, that's who it's for. But if you are just starting out, and that seems like a really big investment because it's over 6 months and you feel like I can't afford it, or you're just starting out, then reach out to me, because I have a self-study option. And this is only 10% of the price. And some women have taken me up on that offer already. And if you join by next week as well, I'm going to invite you to a VIP live circle. Live circles I normally only share with my private clients, but I'm going to include it for you who want to do the self-study option as a gift. So a reminder again of initiation. This doors are closing next week. This is about rebirthing you into your new frequency, for getting that higher vision and making miracles possible. If that is for you, reach out to me to have a call. Doors close next week, and if you reach out today, you get £500 off and a private session with me. So let me know how you're doing in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're watching the replay, I am reading everything, so thank you so much, and I'm getting back to as many of you as possible. Tomorrow I was going to do a live, but I don't know if you can hear, I'm not very well. I came down with a bit of a cold, so I've got my lemon juice. So I'm not going to do a live tomorrow, but you can join me on Sunday at 5 p.m. Madrid time, and you're going to hear from Megan. Megan is another client who did the circle last time. So join me on Sunday. It's a day off tomorrow. I'm going to be a day in bed and resting, and I'm sending you lots and lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.